Welcome to the Empowered Life podcast with Dustin Vaughn Warncke. Join Dustin as your guide to learning about unlocking your life's ultimate potential. Through inspiring conversations with special guests and proven wisdom, Dustin explores the interconnected values of personal growth, professional success, and a wholesome life filled with love and light. This show is based on tactical and practical concepts for life's greatest successes and achieving your goals, while also being full of inspiration to help you live your best life right now. Discover how to cultivate a mindset of empowerment, achieve success, and create a meaningful impact on the world around you, all while living with purpose, meaning, and significance. Dustin is a former associate publisher of Texas Fish and Game magazine, the author of over 10 books, owner of his own digital marketing agency, an outdoor TV show host, a video and podcast producer. And he will also become one of your best friends forever. Now, get ready to get inspired to live in gratitude. Here's your host, Dustin Vaughn Warncke.
What's up, guys? It's your buddy Dustin Vaughn Warncke, your best friend forever. And it's just like we're sitting around having a cup of coffee together, at a fancy coffee shop. You can, think of your fanciest coffee shop. I kind of have a few favorites that I haunt around here in the Central Texas area. So a little bit about what I'm doing today. Basically, it's Monday morning when I'm recording this. I don't know when you'll hear it, but I'm recording this Monday morning. Woke up this morning and thanked the divine creator, the one that made all this possible, for all that I've had, for all that I have, and for all that I shall have. One of the prayers in one of my books, Intentional Optimized Life. And just give gratitude for the abundance and prosperity of my life. Now, I'm not believing in this whole prosperity gospel thing or whatever, a lot of these Christian, televangelists believe in, but it's kind of like called the word of faith movement versus the word of God, and we all know how that goes. So I just want to impart in you that today is going to be a good day if you choose for it to be a good day. No matter what life throws at you, you are going to be a champion because you are an overcomer. And this morning when I went to go pick up my son, that's the one thing I reminded him on the way there is, Jackson, we eat adversity for breakfast. We are overcomers here, okay? We don't trip over excuses. We don't find reasons to get out of things or not to do things or whatever. We power through. And I explained that when I was 15 years old, at his age right now, I was going 7 days a week. I would work at IHOP, bussing tables and washing dishes on the weekends, Saturday and Sunday, when I didn't have school. And then I was a part of a few different extracurricular activities through high school and through college. And I worked the whole way through that time, starting at 15 years old when it's the legal age, at least back then, to work for an employer on a W-2 situation. And, part-time Saturday and Sunday, 8 hours each day, at least. Then school Monday through Friday. And then, part of the Mighty Unicorn Band. Yes, I know unicorns. You can laugh. New Braunfels Unicorns. Basically, we would have football games on Friday night, and then I'd have to be up at 6 a.m. to be at the restaurant, to do what I do over there. I mean, it was tiring. But you know what it taught me? And I'm not suggesting like child labor or anything like that. I'm not suggesting like that every kid at 15 has a job. But it taught me character and work ethic, and some of the people I worked around really formed who I was with tough love in that work environment. And I also learned more about things that you probably wouldn't expect you would learn in a restaurant, if you know what I mean. So anyway, that's another story for another time. But I mean, I had some influences there that were of the world, not of the spirit. But some of the people I stayed in touch with from those days, and thanked them for, giving me a kick in the behind, lighting a fire under me. I needed that at that age. I'm trying to do that with my son right now, but of course we've got a different generation and, all kinds of things with that. So if you're a parent, just hang in there. You're going to be okay. We're all going to be okay. Remember the two things that I've learned from near-death experiences. Everything is as it should be, and everything's going to be okay. All right. Those are the two things you need to take away from any podcast I do. Life is not untackleable, I guess, if I can say that. It is not, there's no challenge you can't overcome. Okay. you know, and in some challenges you walk away from them and everything like that because you've tried your best and whatever. But I mean, it's just been a challenge lately with all the things that I've been going through. I've had to let 3 people go within one weekend, 2 for my business, and then 1 for the exotic business I work in. And these people just, forgive the bump there, my mic. I'm still getting used to this new microphone. That's one reason why I'm recording this intro on this new system. So let me know in the comments or whatever if you like the sound quality of this microphone. I just picked this up on Amazon. Anyway, but you know, that's the thing. Like, I mean, life teaches us lessons. What are you becoming in the process? Okay? What are you becoming out of the adversity that you face, out of the challenges that you overcome? Are you eating adversity for breakfast? Or are you waking up and go, oh, woe's me, same old crap, different day? You know, I've heard all that my whole life from people older than me and younger than me and everything like that. And I'm like, man, if I could survive the things that I survived, you're going to be just fine, okay? But you got to wake up every morning with a positive attitude and give gratitude for who made all this, okay? God does not have a religion, all right? And, you know, however you practice to worship the divine is the thing. You know, for me, it's Jesus Christ and the following the teachings of Saint Germain and the I Am instructions, the I Am discourses, the first 3 books. You know, I study those. And those all kind of work together because Saint Germain's kind of an offshoot of, you know, kind of a newer age, you know, add-on, you know, to Christianity is just basically, you know, some teachings of wisdom, you know, kind of like we would be learning from King Solomon and, you know, Proverbs and Ecclesiastes. You guys all know that that's my favorite 2 books of the Bible. And Solomon was one of my heroes, even though, you know, he had challenges of his own. But the thing is, challenges can be overcome, okay? Especially if you are in the will of the one who created you for the purpose that you were supposed to serve on this life, in this lifetime, all right? You know, and I could get into the metaphysics and everything else of how all this is real and how all this is possible for anybody that's an agnostic or atheist or anything like that. But I'm not here to convert you. I'm not here to change your mind. I'm here to give you hope. I'm a hope dealer. I am here to inspire you to make good choices like I do my son since he was 5 years old. Make good choices, Jackson. Every day when I drop him off to school, you know, that's positive, proactive parenting. And now that I'm divorced, you know, basically I'm showing up there every day. I live about 15 minutes away from where he lives now and moved back to the area that I was at for 20 years before the divorce. And, you know, I'm saying the same thing 10 years later, you know. You know, make good choices, okay? So today's show is going to be kind of a mashup of some of the TikTok lives or YouTube lives or whatever I've done. I don't even do these live because I'm a little, you know, self-conscious that I'm going to trip over my words or something. So I'll record, you know, maybe once or twice depending on, you know, my mood or what's going on with the day. And, you know, and then upload those to Snapchat or TikTok or, you know, whatever. We didn't have TikTok there for a while here recently, so it was a short couple of days, but, I missed it, you know, and I think I have the ability now to go live on TikTok, which is kind of cool. So, all right, before we get started with this is just going to be a rundown of a lot of podcasts. I'm going to edit these a little bit as I'm producing this show. I'm kind of recording the beginning of this now. I'll kind of chop some of these down and just inspire you. I'm just here to be your hope dealer, you know. You don't need anything you don't already have. The secret to having it all is realizing you already do. And I'm here to impart wisdom and just be a guide for you. You know, just be a buddy, your best friend forever. Maybe one of your best friends forever. I don't know. We may never meet each other. But if you live in the Central Texas / Austin metro area, if you'd like to buy me a cup of coffee for all the advice or all the, you know, wisdom or inspiration or motivation or whatever you get from this podcast, I'd be open to meeting you for coffee. So just reach out to me. You can always text me, 512-497-7674. I have no problem giving my phone number out because it is quite public. And you can always text me there, wherever you live. I mean, heck, you live in somewhere else. I'm on WhatsApp and Telegram as well. But just let me know you listen to the podcast so I know who you are, because I get a lot of weird requests all the time because I'm kind of a public figure and, you know, my numbers and emails and everything are out all over the place. So, also Dustin at businesswithdustin.com. My website's also businesswithdustin.com, dustinsprojects.com, and dustinsbooks.com for the books. and dustinspodcast.com if you want kind of a central hub of all these podcasts. But you can find this podcast on any app that plays podcasts, pretty much syndicated all over the place. Every place I know to syndicated at least. So I do podcast production. If you have like kind of a dollar and a dream and want to start your own podcast, I can at least guide you through the tutorial on how to do that, the equipment to get, and those kind of things. So anyway, enough of that. Thanks for listening to me. Thank you so much for letting me ramble on a little bit and inspire your day, because that's what this whole show is about. What are you becoming in the process of your life, like of the things that you want to accomplish, and what are you doing every day to learn something new and to work towards your goal? It may just be a little something, a couple of minutes, 10 minutes, an hour, whatever you've got. But you've got more time than you think. The problem is we all have the same time, that we what we share together in 24 hours. What are you doing with that? And don't tell me you're too busy, okay? Don't tell me that you have got other stuff going on. You can say you have competing priorities or you're in demand, like I say a lot of times when I am, quote unquote busy. But don't give me excuses. I like results, okay? And I'm here to help you get the results that you want in your life by kind of lighting a fire under your behind and just being a guide, just a source of inspiration for you to keep going forward. You may not think you're going to make it through this day with work because you didn't sleep last night or whatever the case may be. Hey, I've been there too. Even though I run my own business over here, it's a burden of leadership. It's just I've got you hire slow, fire fast, all that stuff. And I've been learning lessons all throughout the time. The reason I became a full stack marketing agency as a one-man show for a while is I have a degree in music education, guys. If you haven't noticed, in my bio or whatever you may have read about me, I have a degree in secondary music education. I was going to be a middle school or high school band director, and I just did not feel the calling towards that once I finished like 5 years squeezed into 4 years of college. I felt the call for writing. I felt the call for sharing hope and giving inspirational content and that kind of stuff. Being a motivational speaker, which in a way I kind of am here. And I've spoken on a lot of stages, with a lot of people and that kind of stuff. And if you'd like me to speak for your church or whatever, I do those things too. I do little travel events like that as well, just to balance all that stuff with my agency work. If you have a problem with your Android or your smartphone, whatever, your iPhone, I know both. So just reach out. I'm happy to help you. Anyway, there's all my stuff. There's my spiel for the beginning of this. I hope you enjoyed this. This is just kind of like a rapid fire of some different segments that I recorded live on video that I've converted to MP3 to share here on this podcast, and basically just to light you up, just to light up the world and the darkness that you're facing and everything like that. You don't have to worry about darkness when you have a plan, when you have the will of the divine helping you, okay? And that surpasses all religion and all understanding, okay? Because the one thing that I've learned in my life, to give you one more point before we kick off this mashup here, as I call it, it's kind of a podcast mashup. If you are in the will of what you're supposed to be doing with a plan that the divine has outlined in your life, doors are going to open, opportunities are going to show up. And that happened with me when I finally, kind of spread my wings again and moved out of where I was staying and moved into my very own place, living completely alone. And that was all here in the month of February 2025 when I'm recording this. Huge transformation, lots of pivoted moves, basically just, making little bitty changes and then starting to get things back in order the way that they were kind of for a new normal. We've talked about that, in other episodes. And the new normal has been great so far. There's not a lot of drawbacks to living on my own. I'm not lonely. I'm not desperate. I'm not, I feel like I've recovered a lot from, although you're always in recovery when you have some kind of issue like codependency or love addiction, but I feel great. I want you to feel great. I want you to wake up in the morning and say, I feel terrific. I want you to wake up in the morning and say, I am that I am and there is nothing to fear. I want you to wake up in the morning and say, I am the resurrection and the light. One of Jesus's quotes, And basically that is invoking, some positive energy, some positive vibes out to the universe to come back to you. And they will come back to you. But don't walk around like something on one particular client of mine that just kind of like, oh, woe is me, the world's ending, everything else, Trump, Biden, whatever, whatever the political climate is. I don't really pay attention. It's not that I don't care. It's not that I'm indifferent. It's just I've got to control what I can control in my personal life to live my best life now. Okay, that's my whole point. Watching the news, even the 24/7 news that we have on satellite cable, Roku, whatever you're watching, Amazon Fire. Come on, man. I mean, that's just if it bleeds, it leads. I mean, I learned that in the editorial world years ago when I was associate publisher at TF&G, and that doesn't matter. I understand the world may look like it's going to hell. And in some ways that is. We certainly have issues that we didn't have 20 years ago. But in 100 years from now, none of that's going to matter. Think about it. 100 years from now, it's going to be all new people. All right, with all new problems and everything else. But you likely, will have moved on to the other side, which is absolutely beautiful. And, I really encourage you to just keep the belief and the hope. Life is short, okay? Regardless of how you look at it. When you look at eternity or the fact, that the amount of time that Earth has existed and that mankind has existed, it's like a blink of an eye. Whether you believe it's billions of years or thousands of years, Make it count. Make every day count. Learn something new every day. I've been learning something new every day for the last 15 years, ever since my son's been born. I've had to, because this agency thing that I do for a living, full-time now, there is no tech support department at Warncke Enterprises. It's this guy right here on this microphone, okay? It's not some kind of magic beans or something somewhere that I figured out. I get on Google like you do, and I figure it out. For my customers, for myself, and most of my clients don't want to know how the sausage is made, so to speak. Sausage making's a gross thing, but I mean, just kind of as a metaphor, they don't want to know all the details. They just want everything fixed, they just want everything, worked through. So anyway, that's how I've learned all the stuff that I've learned, is I've taught myself over the years. And I'm reminded, I don't mean to talk too much on this intro, but I'm reminded of Grigory, who was one of my friends from Russia that I worked with at one of the companies I did work for. It was a top 100 Amazon seller. And Grigory was one of the best graphic designers I've ever worked with in my life. He was Russian. He lives in Russia still. And absolutely incredible. Self-taught the whole way. I think he went to college for communications or something like that over in Russia. But he got on YouTube and just started learning how to use Adobe Photoshop and how to use Adobe Premiere Pro for video editing and just all the different photo, video editing, Illustrator apps, all those kind of things, the whole Adobe suite. He learned it all from watching YouTube for free, and I mean, like there's no excuse. The knowledge is everywhere now. The knowledge is everywhere. And one thing that my son was, I think I mentioned this on the podcast that I did with Jackson, one of the first episodes of this whole, Mr. Kohler, who was one of Jackson's principals, would tell us when Jackson was really young, maybe first grade or something like that, really young in elementary school, that we don't teach your kids the information anymore. The information's everywhere. Like, the information's in the palm of your hand on your phone, What we teach them to do is how to think for themselves, how to make good choices, how to make good judgments. Kind of like when you go to the doctor, everybody thinks you pay a doctor for all of his knowledge and experience and skills. No, you pay a doctor for his judgment. And really, every day we're making a ton of judgment calls, because that is the world that we live in. We live in the world of judgment call after judgment call. Whether you're driving, whether you're doing a work project, whatever, you're making independent judgment calls all the time. A doctor does it, a lawyer does it. Everybody in high performance roles do it, because that is part of where the rubber meets the road. You can think about it, you can study about it and that kind of stuff, but it's implementation and execution of what you're thinking about and studying about that really is where the rubber meets the road. So without further ado, here's a lineup, a mashup, if you will, of some of my my past little recordings. Some from last fall, some that I've just kind of done here and there, and I'm just going to rapid fire them on the rest of the show, and then end it with our lovely announcer Laura's voice. Thank you guys so much again, because I won't talk to you at the end of this directly here, semi-live. I'm just recording the opener here, but have the best day out there. Have the best day ever. Make this week count, okay? Whatever part of the week you're listening to this to, okay? Make every day count, okay? Your life is what you make it, okay? No excuses, just results. Let's get it done. I'm here to inspire you, okay? If you haven't read my books, I'm not trying to sell books, but you can get them, and the audiobooks are free on YouTube for now and that kind of stuff until I re-record these books. And I'm coming out with 2 new books, one for business and one for for personal development, kind of the third in the series of the last two books that I wrote. So anyway, check those out. Any way that I can inspire you, it's just if you can watch it, read it, or listen to it, I produced it. So God bless you guys, and here we go. Thanks. What's up, guys? Dustin Vaughn Warncke here, your best friend forever that you may not have even met yet. Anyway, I'm at the public library out in the Wi-Fi porch because the library is closed. Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening. Just had a thought today. I'm really slammed right now with business stuff for my own marketing agency, businesswithdustin.com. Shameless plug. But the thing is that I'm sitting here going, what am I complaining about? As we do sometimes when we get busy or overwhelmed or whatever, we have too much to do, we have a log jam in our schedule and everything like that. We sit there and complain and everything about, oh gosh, I'm so busy. I like to say I'm not busy, baby. I'm in demand, right? I'm in demand. I am in demand with my clientele, and a lot of them being outdoor industry clients. Some of you guys know that. I've been in the industry for about 17 years doing websites and marketing and advertising and that kind of stuff in the digital space. But the interesting thing is I've got to express gratitude for being so busy. We forget that sometimes. We complain about being busy, but I'm like, how many people don't know where the next meal is coming from, that are broke, that don't have any options for being busy? You know what I'm saying? I mean, and if that's you, and it might be, go out and create value for somebody. Like, that's the best tool that I can give you for getting out of a tight spot, financially or otherwise, finding work, growing your business, whatever. Go create value for somebody. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care, right? And also, that's a Zig Ziglar quote. And also the fact that if you help enough people get what they're looking for in life, you'll have everything that you want in life. Another Zig Ziglar quote. And that's only two quotes I think I'm going to give on this little short. But bottom line, be grateful. Have an attitude of gratitude for being so busy. Have an attitude of gratitude that the kids need diapers changed, or the kids need to be fed. I mean, you're lucky to have kids. There are people that would kill to have kids. They kill to have the life that you have. It's always said that if you take all your problems and put them in a pile with the rest of the world's problems, you would go right back diving into your problems as far as trying to find your problems out of that pile. Just think about that. All right? Think about that, and think about some of the things that you're complaining for today are the things you wished for years ago. Okay? Some of the things that you take for granted today are the things you prayed for with all your might years ago. Okay? Keep in mind that you got to like and want what you have, not just want more. All right? It's a disease to please, which is something I talk about in one of my books, and the disease of more. I mean, the idea that we want more and more. Once we achieve something, it's not as meaningful to us anymore because we want to go through and achieve the next thing or whatever. It's like you're missing the point. The point is that remember the things that you prayed for that you have now that you take for granted. I mean, come on. So love and light to all of you guys. Blessings to all of you on your Sunday afternoon or whenever you're watching this Monday. Happy New Week. It's new week to some people on Monday. Some people the new week starts tomorrow. But I'm just fired up. I'm going to start doing more live videos like this. Or not live videos, but basic, short videos like this. Because you got everything that you need in front of you. All right? The secret to having it all is realizing that you already do. So the secret to having it all is realizing that you already do and being grateful for that. That's my talk for the day. My name is Dustin Vaughn Warncke. You can learn more about me at dustinsprojects.com. That's dustinsprojects.com. You can also check out my podcast, which will be available soon on a podcast player near you. For right now, you can check out the video for that at dustinsprojects.com, or my YouTube channel, which is at DWARNCKE, or just my full name, Dustin Warncke. You can check out that, and then I have a business page if anybody needs anything done in the digital world for business or personal content or anything like that. As far as that goes, at businesswithdustin.com. God bless you all. Have an awesome day in the outdoors, indoors, wherever you are, and we'll see you next time. What's up, guys? It's your buddy Dustin Vaughn Warncke back here for another little short, whatever these things are. Kind of the new thing in YouTube and Facebook and Snap and all
the other different platforms, TikTok, everything else. So I woke up this morning. It's Monday morning. Start of the new week to some. Start of the new week was yesterday for others. But anyway, start of the work week. And I was sitting there thinking, my goodness. Woke up, my neck's hurting from my accident back in May of this year, where I was hit by supposedly a drunk driver, I believe, hit and run, and left me with herniated disc back here in C3 to C7 in my cervical region, and that hurts. Woke up with some generalized anxiety. I suffer from depression and anxiety. Some of you guys know that. Big advocate for mental health and getting help and advocating for the health care that we deserve in this country for mental health, so people are at peace and not struggling with things, especially our returning veterans who have PTSD and that kind of stuff. So, and that was another problem. So generalized anxiety, neck hurts, tired, all that other stuff. I get up and I said, look, self, be grateful to be alive. Got a lot to be thankful for, dude. Get up and get after it. Let's do this. So I just want to talk about one of the things that I talked about in one of my books, An Intentional Optimized Life, which I think is the 8th book or 9th book that I wrote. I can't keep track anymore. But anyway, basically life is a symphony, right? Life is part of kind of a melting pot of different emotions and different, good things and bad things and positive things and negative things that happen to us. And it's not what happens to you, is what you do with what happens to you. It's how you respond and not react to what happens to you. Anyway, a little tangent there. But life's a symphony. You cannot enjoy the high notes, the happy notes, without appreciating the sadness of the low notes. It's a symphony, right? So if that's, the way you want to look at it, and that's the way I look at it, it's a great day to be alive. Be thankful you're alive. Be thankful that we're getting up and you woke up this morning. And I'm pretty sure you woke up this morning because you're watching this. So that's a good thing. And the thing is, I invite you to practice a little bit of extreme kindness today, okay? When you were at the gas station, when you were at the convenience store, whatever, the corner store, the folks behind that counter a lot of times get spit on by people, not literally, but as far as people are rude, there are all kinds of situations with convenience stores that are undesirable for the people that work there. Say something like this: thank you for being here today, and see what happens. Just wait for the reaction, because they don't get told that all the time. They don't get told that probably at all. Maybe the first time they've been told that in ever. But it's something I try to do, and I've even trained my son to the point where he does this on his own without me even doing anything. Like, he will be there, at the gas station, we'll be paying for our Skittles or our, whatever we're buying, Snickers, whatever, Mountain Dew. I like Mountain Dew. But we'll be paying for our food or whatever, snacks or whatever we're getting at the convenience store, nachos, love nachos. He will say, thank you for being here. We really appreciate you. He'll just say that to a random person behind the counter at the convenience store. I just said it here to a lady that was helping me check out at Lowe's. I'm in the Lowe's parking lot right now where I'm staying this week. And it was refreshing. You could tell that it kind of lit her up, as far as just her spirits, were enlivened by me appreciating her. So don't just go around and say, I appreciate you, and not mean it. You want to make sure it's genuine appreciation for somebody taking the time to serve you in a public setting, such as a store or even the county tax office, or the county public health place or whatever, if you're going to get blood tests or something. Just somewhere where people don't get appreciated. Appreciate them. Give them hope. Show them that there's still some good humans left on this earth, okay? That's my challenge to you today, is the Extreme Kindness Challenge, where you can go into, wherever, and just express gratitude for people's presence behind that counter. Or whatever else setting, if you have the lawn guy come over, the pest guy, pest control guy come over, or the electrician or the appliance repair guy, they don't get thanked very often. They get their check and they go on a lot of times, they're there for work. And even though, I thank my doctors all the time, I thank my the nurses that come see me. I practice that every day. It's not something that I was born with. It's something I developed. And the person that taught me that was my dad. Because we would be in the convenience store when I was 14, 15 years old, about Jackson's age, and he would say, just extreme kindness, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Those kind of things. And they just lit people up with the fire of hope, the fire of life, the fire that we all deserve, the fire of energy and appreciation and gratitude, that somebody is happy that we are there. Somebody is happy that we exist in that space. So that's my challenge to you today. I'm going to have a great day. I don't know about you. I'm going to have the best day ever. And I invite you to remember the symphony. Remember the fact that no matter what happens, no matter how bad things get, there's always hope. There's always a solution out there. You are never alone. You are loved by a creator that has always loved you before you were even born. You were chosen out of 4 million sperm cells to come into an existence by an almighty creator. Think about that today. And also, I'll leave you with this in the first part of the same book that I'm quoting. Les Brown quote, which is where the 400 million sperm cells came from. Les Brown also said, "We are born an original. Most of us die a copy." Don't die a copy, and furthermore, don't compare yourself to other people and other people's race. Run your own race. It is your life. It is what you make of it. And nobody else has the circumstances or family or anything like that like you do. Okay? And I'm sitting here at the Lowe's parking lot, and I saw something that I don't think I've seen in a long time. I saw, and I'm not making this up, this is like, I'm watching this right before I turn the record button on this video. I watched a guy that had no hands and no feet ride a shopping cart, or like one of those little carts, what do you call it, like little wheelchair carts, to his vehicle, and full of stuff. He had one nub of an arm, and then one missing arm, and then no legs. Okay, there's always something to be grateful for. If you've got hands, legs, extremities, fingers, be grateful for them. Okay, it's just you and God at the end of the day. None of this is going to matter in 100 years. We'll all be transitioned into the next life by then, and everybody you know will be too. So don't take life so seriously. Don't sweat the big stuff. Don't sweat the small stuff either. And live your best life now.
Thank you for listening to The Empowered Life with Dustin Vaughn Warncke. To learn more about Dustin, please visit his creator hub at dustinsprojects.com. Warncke Enterprises, Dustin's very own digital services company, can be found at businesswithdustin.com, and his books are available at either website or at dustinsbooks.com. Audio presentations of each of Dustin's latest books can be found on YouTube and streamed at no cost. Please subscribe to the Empowered Life podcast on your favorite podcast app, and thank you for your support and sharing this show with a friend.